Who's that kanji?
It's person. So we're going to look at the kanji for person. The kunyomi for this kanji is hito. It can end in ri, like for example, hitori, futari, which means one person, two people. And it can end in to. The onyomi are jin, nin, and the meaning is just person. This one is very simple on that aspect. So let's look at the stroke order. So you make one stroke to the left from the top, and then a stroke to the right, somewhere around here. This, it's not exactly correct to write a stroke like that and then start the next stroke from that same point. You need to start it somewhere like either in the very middle or around here, so you can write it like this. You'll actually see it like that pretty often, or you can write it like that. But don't write it like this. You will see this a lot on a computer in like a computer font, but this is not exactly correct to write it with a pen. In fact, there are proper ways to write something with a pen, and then there will be other fonts that look differently on a computer. So you want to learn this way to write kanji, the way to write it with by hand, and not the way to write it on a computer. But if you think that you would actually have to somehow interpret them differently, no, they're very easy to tell. You just learn this like the proper handwritten stroke order, and you'll understand it on a computer very easily. It doesn't make any difference. Let me just do it again. A stroke in here to the left from the top, and then a stroke somewhere from the middle or maybe a little closer to the top like I did, to the right. Now I don't even think that I need to explain how this is supposed to resemble a human. You just imagine like a continuation with some arms, right? It's very easy to imagine that this resembles a human. So I don't think I need to explain that very much. Now let's look at the words, and there are a lot more words that you can think of with this kanji, but I chose these for this lesson. So the first one is like a word ending in jin, and this part in the beginning is supposed to be a country name. Like you can have Furansu, that means France, and to have a French person, right? So something ending with jin means a person of a nationality. So Furansu jin is French, a French person. For example, Italia jin is an Italian person, Spain jin is a Spanish person, so it should be very easy to remember. Now next, a bit more interesting, Nihonjin. This is the first word that has three kanji. The kanji for sun, the kanji for origin, and the kanji for person. But you don't need to think of this as sun, origin, person. You think of it as Japan, because if you remember this part, Nihon means Japan. And then you add jin, just like here, right? You have the country, you add jin, it gives you Nihonjin, Japanese person. This is pretty much the same as this, but I thought it would be necessary to point out that Japanese person is Nihonjin specifically. Then you can have Arabujin, which means an Arab person. You can have Yudayajin, which means a Jewish person. So these first four are pretty much the same. You just have some sort of a country, or like here we have Arab. This is the only strange one. They say Jewish person like Yudayajin. And by the way, if you're wondering, this is just written in katakana. There's no kanji there. When you have countries or some of these borrowed words like Arabu, or as I said before, Fransu, you just write it in katakana. So again, Arabujin, Arab person. Yudayajin, Jewish person. And then last but not least is hito, which is a very important word. It just means person, just like in the meaning of the word. And here we're using the kunyomi. And there isn't much I need to say about this one. It's just hito means person. Like you can say, ano hito wa yasashii desu. That person is kind. And let me give you examples for the other ones. You can say, Nihonjin no tomodachi ga imasu, which means I have a Japanese friend. So yeah, to say someone of a nationality, you say the nationality, like something ending with jin, Furansu-jin, Nihonjin, and then you add no, which is the possessive particle, and then whatever it is, friend, teacher, whatever. So, Nihonjin no tomodachi, Japanese friend. I know I'm not supposed to teach grammar, but I decided I should point this out. And then I don't really need to give examples for Arabujin or Yudaya-jin. It's used in the same way, so there isn't much to be said. So that's about it for today. Do you know this kanji? We'll see what it is in the next episode. Subscribe here so you don't miss it, and check out the playlist with all of the episodes. Mata kondo!